Welcome back to Shortcut Suitcase, the show where we prove that the only thing slowing down a senior traveler is bad advice and a bank account with too many mysterious fees. I'm talking to you, the person who survived raising teenagers, outlasted 3 recessions, and somehow figured out how to use a smartphone without calling your grandkid every 5 minutes. If you can do all that, you can absolutely conquer foreign currency without donating your retirement savings to a bank executive's bonus pool. Today is episode 7 of our Global Mastery series, and we are crowning you the currency commander. That's right, commander, not victim. Not confused tourist standing at an ATM in Rome looking like you just found out the exchange rate is written in ancient Latin. Commander, because after today, you will walk into any country on this planet, find an ATM, tap your card, and laugh quietly to yourself while other travelers get financially ambushed by fees they never saw coming. Let's start with the villain of our story, the bank. Now, I want to be fair here. Banks are wonderful institutions. They keep your money safe, they send you a calendar every January, and they wait patiently for the exact moment you're most excited about international travel before announcing they're going to charge you between $3 and $5 per ATM withdrawal, plus a percentage of every single transaction, plus a foreign transaction fee that sounds small but adds up faster than airport food prices. It's almost impressive, really. The level of creativity involved in finding new ways to extract money from a retiree trying to buy a croissant in Paris deserves some kind of award. Here's what actually happens to the average traveler over 65 who doesn't know what we're about to teach you. They land in a foreign country, they find an ATM, they withdraw some cash, they pay a fee to their home bank, they pay a fee to the foreign bank, and then sometimes, the ATM politely offers to do the currency conversion for them on the spot. How thoughtful, how generous, how absolutely catastrophic for your wallet. We will get back to that particular trap in about 2 minutes, and I promise you, it will make you angry in the most productive way possible. But first, the hero of our story, Charles Schwab. Specifically, the Charles Schwab High Yield Investor Checking Account. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I'm 65 years old. I have a bank I've been loyal to for 40 years. Why would I change? And to that I say, your bank has also been loyal. Loyal to charging you fees every single chance it gets. The Schwab checking account reimburses all ATM fees worldwide. Every single one. You walk up to any ATM on the planet, withdraw local currency, and at the end of the month, Schwab sends the fees back to you like a polite apology note from the financial industry. There's no minimum balance required. There's no foreign transaction fee. You get the actual interbank exchange rate, which is the best rate available. It's essentially the bank account equivalent of a superpower, and it was sitting there the whole time while we were all paying fees like it was completely normal. Getting the account is straightforward. You can open it online. It pairs with a brokerage account which takes about 5 minutes to set up, even if you find technology mildly threatening. And then you have a debit card that functions as a financial invisibility cloak every time you approach an international ATM. Now, if Schwab isn't available in your country or your situation doesn't work for it, look into alternatives like Wise or Revolut, which offer similar low fee structures for international use. The point is, there is no reason in the current year to be paying standard bank ATM fees abroad. None. Zero. It's like paying for extra luggage when you could have packed lighter. It just requires knowing the trick. Now let's talk about your security audit for Tap to Pay, because this is where we separate the currency commanders from the currency casualties. Contactless payment, meaning tapping your card or phone at a terminal, is actually one of the safer ways to pay internationally. Each tap generates a unique transaction code, so even if someone intercepts the signal, they get nothing useful. Compare that to handing your physical card to a server who walks away with it to run it somewhere you can't see, which is still common in many countries and which should make you considerably more nervous. Tap to Pay keeps the card in your hand or your pocket. Before any international trip, do a quick audit of your cards. Make sure your credit cards are set up for contactless payments. Enable transaction alerts on your phone so you get a notification every time your card is used. Set a reasonable daily spending limit or transaction alert threshold. Consider which cards have chip technology versus which ones are older magnetic strip cards, because magnetic strip cards are increasingly a liability abroad. This entire audit takes maybe 20 minutes before your trip, and it gives you the kind of financial confidence that allows you to actually enjoy the market in Marrakesh instead of spending the whole time calculating whether something terrible is happening to your checking account back home. And now we arrive at the trap that has quietly stolen money from millions of travelers who never even knew it was happening. It has a delightful bureaucratic name: dynamic currency conversion. What this actually means is that when you go to pay for something abroad with your foreign credit or debit card, the merchant's terminal sometimes offers to charge you in your home currency instead of the local currency. It frames this as a helpful service, a convenience, a way to know exactly what you're spending in dollars or pounds or whatever you use back home. It is none of those things. It is a fee hiding in the clothing of a courtesy. When you allow the terminal to do the conversion, the merchant or their payment processor applies their own exchange rate, which is almost always significantly worse than the rate your bank would apply. We're talking anywhere from 3 to 12% worse, depending on who's doing the converting. That adds up quickly. A $2,000 trip with dynamic currency conversion throughout could cost you an extra $100 to $200 in invisible fees. You paid for that. You chose it. You didn't realize you chose it. So here is the rule, and it is simple enough to tattoo on your wrist if you're feeling committed. Always, always, always choose to be charged in the local currency. When the terminal asks, when the cashier asks, when anyone asks, you say, local currency. In Paris, euros. In Tokyo, yen. In Bangkok, baht. Every time, without exception. Your bank will handle the conversion at a real rate. You will lose nothing to the dynamic currency conversion machine. This single habit, repeated consistently across a 2-week trip, can save you more money than a lot of people spend on a nice dinner. Speaking of which, now you can afford a nicer dinner. Let me give you the quick recap of your Currency Commander toolkit, because your time is valuable and you have a trip to plan. Number 1. Open a no-fee international checking account, Schwab being the gold standard, before your next trip. Number 2. Do your tap-to-pay security audit 20 minutes before departure, enabling alerts and checking your card setup. Number 3. Memorize these 2 words and deploy them everywhere you go. Local currency. That's it. 3 moves. That's all it takes to go from being someone banks profit from to being someone who travels with full financial intelligence. Here's what I love most about this episode's lesson. None of this requires youth. None of it requires tech genius. None of it requires special connections or insider knowledge. It requires exactly what you already have at 65 plus. The wisdom to recognize a bad deal, the strategic patience to plan before you go, and the confidence to make an informed decision at a payment terminal without being rattled. That is not a young person's skill. That is a seasoned person's skill. You earned it. Now use it. Because here's the real truth underneath all the satire and fee-shaming and ATM drama. You worked your entire life for this. For the freedom to go somewhere extraordinary, eat something unfamiliar, stand in front of something ancient, and feel genuinely alive in a new place. The banks did not work for that. The dynamic currency conversion machine did not work for that. You did. And every dollar you keep out of unnecessary fees is another dollar that belongs to the adventure, not the administrative overhead of international banking bureaucracy. That is episode 7 of the Shortcut Suitcase Global Mastery Series. Currency Commander status officially unlocked. If this video saved you money, or at minimum made you productively angry at ATM fees, do me a favor and smash that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode, because episode 8 is coming and it will absolutely change how you think about travel insurance. Share this with every traveler you know who is still paying foreign fees out of pure loyalty to a bank that charges them for the privilege. And drop a comment below telling me your worst international fee story, because honestly, I need the material and you need the catharsis. See you next week, Commander.